So it's Mel from My Paper Oasis. I am back tonight to show you another video. Okay, so tonight we're going to show you how to use up your designer series paper scraps. I don't know about you guys, but when I get to the end of a season, say like Christmas, or even some of my designer series papers, I always end up a little bit with a pack like this. So I just have lots and lots of little bits and pieces. This is the Presents and Pinecone pack. And I just have lots of little scraps and stuff sitting around, and it seems like such a waste. I am such a hoarder when it comes to paper. I don't like throwing anything away. So I want to show you a few tips, especially at Christmas, how easy it is to use up some of these little scraps of paper. So I'm going to show you tonight how to make this little card using just some of your scraps of designer series paper. So I hope you can see that. It's a cute little card. It adds just like a little bit of difference to just a regular stamp or one piece of designer series paper that you cut and stick on the top. And it gives your card kind of a very different look, and they're quite quick to make, so super simple for lots of Christmas cards that you could make and send out to people. So this is what we're going to make tonight. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So first of all, I leave this up here so you can see. First of all, I just start with lots of little scraps of my paper, and I don't put too much effort in. I've cut these to about 3 inches long, just so they fit on the card. And you just gather a few of them together. As you can see, they're not necessarily all the same size and length, and you just like lay them out, you know, till you're happy with the kind of pattern that you get. And you don't even have to really worry about orientation. These are all, you know, somewhere between 1/4 of an inch to maybe a 1/2 inch, a little bit more thick. They're really not that thick at all, guys. So great way just to use up all those tiny little bits and pieces that you have lying around. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be for Christmas. You could use it any time of the year with any kind of card that you've got, like our star framelets, the circles, you know, any of those kinds of things. Squares, you could make a present with lots of different papers on it like that. So our framelets I'm talking about, you could make anything with these. So all you do is gather your bits, lie them out in a pattern that you kind of like I might actually swap that red so that I haven't got 2 real white ones next to each other. And you need to decide on your pattern. So obviously for this card I've chosen to go with the tree, and this is from our Santa's Sleigh bundle set. So this is in the closeout sales at the moment. The bundle is going to finish. So the stamp set I believe is, and the dies are still going to be available, but if you want the bundle, you need to get it now, because that gives you the 10% discount, and the bundle is still in the closeout sales. Okay, so I know that I'm going to use the tree. So I have the tree, and if I lie out my papers, I can see that I've got plenty of space here to play with. And if you notice in the card, I've actually put the pieces of paper on an angle. You could put them straight if you wanted to. So you can pretty much, you know, design it however you like. So I've got my bits of paper ready. So I'm happy with those. I'm just going to pop those to the side for a minute. And I need to cut my card base. Now, it came to my attention the other day that some of you guys aren't really confident in cutting your card bases. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I've got a Cherry Cobbler actual card base. So I'm going to use my trimmer here, and there's a little bit of glare. I do apologize for that. So I'm going to show you what I do to cut my card base. Now this one opens in this orientation. I don't know, I don't quite know what it's called. But that's the orientation I kind of call it a tent fold. So hi ladies, how you going? I'm just going to show you how to cut that. Now, all of our card bases that I make are cut generally from one of our A4 pieces of cardstock, and it's cut in half. So if you want a card folded in the other orientation, you would cut it in half this way. This card base, I want to have a long fold, so I'm cutting it on the short side up here. And for this, I'm going to cut it at 4 1/8 inches, which is near enough to 10.5 centimeters for you guys that don't like inches. So your 1/8 mark is not the tiniest mark on your scoreboard, it's the next one up on your trimmer. So 4 1/8 inch, and you're literally going to use your cutting blade and slide down, and that's your card base cut. So when you fold it in half, you have a card that you can either orientate this way or this way. Okay, so that's a basic card base. So from our packs of 24 cardstock, you should get 48 card bases when you're doing a card base. So that's my card base done. I'm going to pop that to the side here. And then you'll notice that I've got a green overlay here. Now the measurements again will all be on my blog, but the measurements for this green are 5 5/8 by 3 1/8. Okay, so whenever you're cutting a base on your card, whether it be white or a color, you can get 4 pieces out of your cardstock. Okay, but you need to cut the longest piece first on the long side. If you cut the longest piece first on the long side, as long as it's not past or near 6 inches, so it'll be about 5 3/4 inches is about halfway this way, you will get 4 pieces out of your card. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So this one is 5 5/8. So I'm counting up my 1/8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to pop my marker on that, or my piece of card on that, and I'm going to slice it. So as you can see, that gives me my 2 sheets. And then I just need to turn this sideways and cut the smaller side, which is 3 7/8, which is, I know is that's this dash right here before the 4. So I'm just going to trim it down there. So you can see how you easily get your 4 card bases, card toppers for your card bases. So that's how simple it is to cut your cardstock, but I want you to get the most out of your cardstock. So kind of keep to those principles as you go. Okay, so we have our card base. I'm just going to give that a burnish. I have my Emerald Envy piece, and the colours are just being decided by the DSP I'm using because they're the colours in the DSP pack. And I have a white piece that is 3 1/2 by 5 1/4 inches, which fits on over the top like so, and it gives me an even border around. So I just generally drop 1/8 to 1/4 of the different inches. So what you're going to do with this is then you need to run this through the Big Shot with your pattern. Now I know it's 2 pieces of cardstock, but if you place your framelit over this and through your Big Shot and bring it back again, so run it through twice, you should be able to get through both pieces of cardstock. If you don't get quite through, you can take this one off and you'll have grooves in this piece, and you can just pop it back on and run it through again to get it through both pieces. But that means that you're going to get your white and green pieces lined up really nicely here. Okay, so obviously I've done that already to save a bit of time for tonight. So all you're going to do now is you are going to get your card base and your little pieces that you've got. So I'm just going to bring these all back in. Sorry, leaning over the camera here now. And you're just going to adhere them. Now I've probably got a few more here than I need to, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. So I'm going to start somewhere around the middle. And you're just going to apply adhesive to your strip. And like I said, I like mine on the angle. So I'm just going to pop this kind of midway on the angle. And you're going to do this for all your pieces. You're just going to butt them straight up against your card base. Now there's obviously a few ways that you could do this. You could do this on a spare piece of, white card if you wanted to, and then run it through the Big Shot, and you would cut out a tree with these pieces like this. And then you could put that on top of your card if you wanted. So, oopsies. Gotta love fast views. I do actually love my fast views. There we go. Oh, I can see Jenny's making my coffee cups tonight. She's saying that she's making my coffee cups from the other week. I know they're amazing, aren't they? I've had lots of people make those. They were a big hit. I gave them out at lots of classes this week. It's been lovely. Oops, sticking to the paper. So cutting again, sticking again. I know, it's a slow process, isn't it, guys? And one more, which is going to be way too much, but we're going to go with it anyway. Okay, so that's all you do to make that base is just stick up all your little pieces like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pop this piece up on dimensionals. Now you can pop this piece up on dimensionals as well, or you can pop it flat down. It's entirely up to you. This one I've put dimensionals in both sections to give it a little bit of lift, and sometimes you can see the colour underneath, so it just gives you a little bit more dimension. But tonight I'm just going to pop this one straight down. Actually, I want to stamp a sentiment on it first. Make sure you do that first, guys, before you stick this white piece down, otherwise it's going to make it super tricky down the track. So I'm just using Merry Christmas Wishes with Cherry Cobbler from the Santa Sleigh stamp set again. Down it goes, simple as that. Of course, you could put any sentiment, you could layer it up, you could do whatever you like with that. So I'm just going to run some adhesive on this bit. And I think I've just run out of fast fuse. How was that? That was pretty impressive. Fast fuse is awesome, so that'll be enough. So I'm just going to lay that over the top of the last tree and stick that down. There we go. And then we're just going to put dimensionals on the back of this piece to adhere it to the card. I always manage to grab a few dimensionals when I'm filming rather than just one at a time. So you want a couple of dimensionals on this because, you know, you want it to give the card a little bit of support, especially when it's going through the post. You don't need loads and loads, but you do need some. So we're just going to get rid of these. Ho-hum, ho-hum. Okay. So bring your card base back in with all your strips and literally just, you know, center this up over your card so it's nice and even around your card. And there's your pretty Christmas tree. All done. I have a little star. These tiny stars are from the set as well. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow for that one. If I can get my Tombow to start. There we go. To put at the top of my tree. There we go. And dress it up with a little reindeer in the corner. I can't tell you how much I love this set. I have used this set so much over Christmas. I have done so many things with it. I've used it on my 3D frame. I've used it to make a 3D sleigh. I've used it to do pretty much everything. Lots of cards, scrapbooking, you know, it's loads and loads of fun, this set. And I haven't got a bow cut, but I can do that later. So you get the general idea. So that's one simple way. Thank you, Jenny. Very cute. Thank you. One very simple way to use up all those little scraps of designer series paper. So let me show you another one that I used as well, that I created. And this one was using our, what is it called? It's embellished ornaments or something like that. Just the big bauble from the embellished ornaments and made just a giant ornament card. So they're really quick and a great way to use up all your scraps. Because I hate throwing away scraps. I just think it's a terrible, terrible waste. So there you go, guys. I hope you like those two cards tonight. You can see they're all in the same colours using the same designer series paper. The designer series paper is actually on sale at the moment. The Presents and Pine Cones, so it's a great time to get your hands on that as well. Don't forget to check out the sales, guys. All of the bundles are retiring pretty much. So even though some of the products will be around, the bundles themselves are retiring. So the 10%, you won't get the 10% off after this sale ends. And there's, you know, some closeout sales. There's the clearance rack, which has some items up to 60% off, all of those things. Thanks, guys, for watching tonight. I just need to do the draw from the last time. I haven't finished that yet. Yes, this metallic thread, this is the gold metallic thread, Michelle, is that what you're asking? So that's just wrapped around my fingers and then stuck on with a glue dot. I love the way it finishes off the ornaments. Okay, let's get to this draw so you can see what this draw is. So I had people commenting last time for these couple of packs of designer series paper. So my hubby wrote out all your names for me yesterday and they're all in the box here. So you can see a few names in the box. I really love it when you guys comment on my stuff so I know how I'm doing. So let me just wriggle them around and pull a name out. And it is, oh my gosh, seriously, Michelle Thompson. That is amazing, Michelle. I can't tell how many you have actually won now. I think that's your third one. That is amazing. Okay, I'm going to get those to you. Thank you so much, guys. Really wish you a Merry Christmas. Hope you're keeping safe over this silly season. I will be back next week and then I'm going to take a break for a while. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a really good night. Bye.